Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome. Uh, Microsoft Flight Simulator overlaps with NeoFly. If you're not familiar with NeoFly, it is a third-party add-on. It is completely free, but they're coming out with a new version, NeoFly 4, which is basically a rebuild, I believe, a ground-up rebuild. It's got a more modern user interface than the old NeoFly. And I've been slowly goofing off with it. I just set up a new profile, so we're gonna jump over and kind of take a look at early career stuff in NeoFly. So as you can see here, I have created a profile. It's a career profile, and just to shake things out, I did one mission. And so what we're going to do today is at least one, maybe a couple missions in NeoFly in the Cessna here, doing sort of the early grind. A really brief tour, and I am still figuring things out. But basically we have our sort of main screen here where it's a bit of a dashboard and and job hunting site, right? So over here on the left, I've got my jobs, I've got a description of the job in the center, and then a map to help me localize things and understand which directions I'm going and whatnot on the right. And then if I had multiple planes, I would go to the hangar here and be looking at them. But here I can see my current fuel and maintenance statuses. I can see that I can sell my current plane for 125,000. I am going to go ahead and do this insurance thing. So that way, if in case I have some sort of mishap landing on a grass strip or something, the plane is insured. So you can see I just spent some of my money. Down here we can see briefings on jobs. Right now I'm in free flight mode because I haven't accepted a job. And then there's just a bunch of stuff, right? I haven't looked into this marketplace stuff at all, but I guess I can kind of like Elite Dangerous, I can just buy goods and take them places and sell those goods. I am not in a position yet where it's time for me to think about buying a plane. There are loans available. I'll skip over to that real fast. There are loans available, but they're level dependent. And so as you can see here, I'm still, level 1 cadet, and I need to get to second officer. And even at that point, I'm only getting a $150,000 loan. So I probably need to build up 60 or 70,000 in cash, then sell the plane and take a loan to be able to afford something reasonable, or alternate strategy, get up to level 3, keep this plane, buy a nicer plane for myself, hire a pilot, and have 2 concurrent revenue streams going at the same time. So yeah, haven't hired any staff yet, not even gonna think about that. Haven't thought about this at all yet, and so on and so forth. So for today's purposes, let's just find a job and get it on. So like I said, I did do one job last night, which was me flying from basically here. That's my home base in Kennesaw, Georgia, a little place called Cobb International. And I flew, I think it was 30 or 40 miles north to a small airstrip here. And that is 9 Alpha 0. So I'm going to real quickly in the background load my plane in. Real quickly, if you are playing around with NeoFly and struggling to get the 152 to work, if you have any livery other than the default selected, then NeoFly does not recognize it as the correct plane. So make sure you select the default livery if you're struggling to get that plane to work. So what was the 9 Alpha 0, right? So I'm gonna go look for 9 Alpha 0, which should be there. Yeah. And let's find a parking space. Set as departure. That way we'll start our plane cold and dark. And while that's loading up, let's go pick a job. So if I be greedy first, sort by reward.
You can start your engine now.
I guess the first thing I should do is look at how much fuel I have on board, right? So let's go back down here to my, where was that, money? No, hangar. 96.8 out of 156 pounds. I believe that's pounds. So let's jump into the sim. Let's look at our weight. Changes to pounds. So 96.8 divided by 2 would be, what, 45? 48.4, right? So I have 48.4 pounds in each wing. Or 8.4. There we go, in each wing. And I have one passenger. Well, I have myself, which means I have I'll be fuel 97. Yeah. So I don't have a lot of weight remaining, as you can see here, for me to be able to take something. So I need to find something pretty light and relatively short to get me there. So let's see here. What I'm looking for here is to see this icon over here. If it's something I can't handle, like this, it'll go to an I. So I don't have enough cargo capacity on that. So looks like I can fit 315. So I'm going to change my filter here down to 360, and let's just see what we find. So highest reward that I can fit looks like a cargo mission at 229 that I should be able to take. 3,800 bucks is pretty good at this stage. Distance is 132 miles, though. That's actually a pretty darn long way. Half the distance for almost 2/3 the money to go to 3TN4. That might sound better. If I load up 202, does that fit? Okay, good. That fits. And I'm assuming my pilot weight of 170 is assumed in that as well. We'll do that one. 3TN4. It's going to take us north through the mountains quite a ways, it looks like. Into, where am I at? So this is northern Georgia. So I'll fly over South Carolina. I'm sorry, I'll fly over North Carolina into Tennessee. So this is a suburb of Knoxville, it looks like. So yeah, it looks fun. We'll look at Sky Vector and see what the mountains are like. But let's go ahead and take that.
Good morning, my favorite transporter.
Good morning.
Passengers will board as soon as you request it.
So let's go ahead and go into the job.
Captain, we have opened the gates for boarding.
Here we go.
Passengers are on their way.
So here's my checklist for the job, right? I'm at the correct airport, in the correct plane, and I have the correct amount of weight because I already configured it as I was considering the jobs. My job here is to meet the following requests. I got to get one passenger of 202 pounds, 79 nautical miles, and when I do that, I'll get paid 2,500 bucks. My arrival is going to be 3TN4, which has a 1,142 foot runway and will cost me $16 in airport fees. I'm not worried about fuel. It's a short flight.
Transporter, boarding is complete.
I'm all
you
loaded.
Can start your flight.
Okay, so let's close our weight and balance stuff, and let's think about the trip itself. So I'm going to go over here to Chrome and open up Sky Vector, and I'm going to go to 980 to, what was it? 3TN4. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, let's just look up at Knoxville then. I hate it when it's not on Sky Vector. There's Knoxville downtown. Let's research that a little bit more then. So 3TN4, according to this, is in, what are we looking at here? Looks like it's a grass strip outside of Seymour. I hate landing on grass strips. I feel like the brakes just don't work on grass strips. So let's look to Knoxville down this road. Looking for Seymour. So there's Knoxville. There's that road. I don't see... Oh, there's Seymour. Okay, good. So, if I fly to the Knoxville VOR, let's... KDXX. Let's look at what... KDXX. Well, that looks wrong. 9AO. Go back again. I'm sorry, I must have messed something up there. That was Knoxville, right? No, that's Louisville. Nashville. Sparta. Knoxville. Okay, KDKX. Okay, KDKX. There we go. Alright, so what do we have nav aid wise? Remember, we're in the Cessna 152, so we don't get fun stuff. Looks like I need to be thinking about 7,000 feet there, 6,000 feet there. If I were to go up through the valley here, there are no nav aids. Okay, so I guess to start, I probably want to go to this VOR, right? 109.8, which means I'm going to head up for 22 nautical miles at 019, and then I'll use that VOR, and then I'll basically be flying straight north from there. And then as I get close, I'll need to be looking for the top of these mountains, and as I get close, I'm going to want to veer off to Seymour. It's going to be difficult to find Seymour. I'm probably going to need to get up to Knoxville and then turn. How do I delete that? Go. There's Seymour right there. Okay, so my landmark should be this river. When I get to the river, I'll turn right. And then let's pull up just real quickly for visual reference. Seymour, Tennessee. There's Knoxville. I don't see that river. Oh, that's not a river. That's a, it's like a chart line. Shoot. Okay. Well, I'll be looking for some sort of visual indication that I need to turn to go to Seymour. So what's that gonna be? McGee Tyson Airport? That might be too far away on my flight plan. Sky Ranch. Like, I feel like I just need to get somewhere over here and then turn just due east to get there. Like, that might be my best bet. But 116.4 is our VOR over here. Where the heck is the actual center of the VOR? Where's my compass rose? Right there. What's that VOR called? VXV. And then I want to finish down here. Let's take Knoxville out. I want to remove Knoxville, please. There we go. Well, that might be my best bet, is get to the VOR and then turn to a 139. If I don't see this airport, if I see this airport, I'll just turn straight east. So that sounds like our plan. So step one is to get out, tune to this VOR here, which is 109.8, and then go straight north from there. So let's go ahead and tune those in. Let's go start up our airplane. We're already loaded, right? So let's go ahead and start up our airplane and get to work. So with that, I'll go ahead and switch OBS over to Flight Sim only. It's a better experience that way. And let's start up and go. All right. Let's start with our fuel selector. Okay. We'll hide our yoke, but go ahead and do a flight control check. Looking good. Prime 3 times. Full rich. A little bit of throttle. Magnetos and starter. Back off the starter. Go ahead and turn on our strobe, nav, beacon. Not going to put on taxi yet. And we don't need interior lights. Okay, let's go get those frequencies again. So the first VOR was going to be 109.8. So I will dial in a 109.8, make that active. And then I'll dial in our next one of busier area here. (116.4). Volunteers 116.4, and we'll dial that one in whenever we take off. So we can already hear the nav beacon going. That's awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and listen to ATIS and see what runways in use. Oh, there is no ATIS for this place. But we'll announce that we're going to go north.
Niner Alpha Zero traffic Cessna November 064,
runway 15.
Mike Tango,
Let's look at the
15 departure to the
there a
north.
windsock around here somewhere? There it is. Let's taxi over, get closer to it, and we'll see. Can't really see which direction that's going. All right, let's just go look at our mission in NeoFly real fast to make sure everything's good. Everything looks good. Maybe I should just keep this on desktop mode. That way you can see when I toggle over to NeoFly. All right, quick check around. Everything looks all right. Let's go ahead and release our parking brake and go figure out our runway. The humble 152, man. Workhorse. Makes you fly though. Like if you're not on top of stuff, there's no computer doing anything for you. I'm not on VATSIM, but I like to get in the habit of getting on the Unicom frequency. Probably shouldn't be taking off in the rain. Alright. If I were on VATSIM, I guess I would announce a back taxi here. Let's look both ways. Turn on our taxi and landing lights here. And I think that's just a crosswind. Which direction am I facing? I want to depart north. So if it's a straight crosswind, then I'm just going to back taxi this way and we'll take off to the north directly. Not sure how steep these clouds are, or how high these clouds are. I guess I could have gone that way, huh? I didn't have to back taxi. I didn't see that. Alright, landing and taxi lights are on. Okay, put our flaps down and let's go for it. A little wet weather flying never hurt nobody except for all the people that it's killed over time. Just keep the rudder in, keep that center line, watch it for 60 knots. At that point, they should start to feel it lift. There we go. Alive and off the ground. Nice.
Have a safe trip. We hope you enjoyed your stay here.
Oh,
We'll
it was
look forward
great.
to welcoming you back soon.
Thank you. It was fantastic. So, taking off right into some mountains here, so we're going to do a little bit of maneuvering before we get onto our 019 heading. Really should have set up I guess I am set up. Oh, no, I'm not. I need to... Sorry, I should finish sentences. I should have set up my VOR navigation steam gauge to be already set for 019, and I think I do need a little cockpit lighting here. Here we go. Kind of dark. Alright, so I'm going to turn this to 019, right about there. Cool, I'm already almost on course. I might have to do a little mountain dodging here, but otherwise I'm off to a good start, direction-wise. Trim back a little bit here, keep the power up. I will come down just a tad on the power to get it out of the red, and we'll climb. Don't want to fly a 152 up to like 10,000 feet or whatever, but I do have to think about these clouds and these mountains and the combination of them. That's a bit worrisome. Look at that wall of clouds. I don't even think in the real world that I'd be allowed to fly in these conditions. Okay. So we'll turn to the north here. Kind of looking at these mountains, making sure I'm going to clear everything. Kind of want to shoot that gap over there. Going really slowly, like stall concerns. I think we need to stay in this valley for a moment, build up some speed. Oh, flaps. Put up those flaps, baby. This is why checklists exist. Picking up some speed now. Okay, can I make that now? It looks like I can. What you want to hear your pilot say, right? Rainbow sighting. So I didn't get a QNH number, so I'm just going to use this secret B key to set my barometer there. So I'm coming up on 3,000, which looks to be enough to skim these trees. Because I could follow that path there, that might be better. Loop around that mountain. Wrong plane for the job, huh? We're doing okay though. We gotta get on course once we get to a comfortable altitude. to intercept my VOR needle there, and then sharp turn to the left to get back on my 019 radial. All that maneuvering, it's got me kind of far off course. Let's trim back a little bit, trim back a little bit. Our speed is okay, we're at 80 now. Come on, needle. Climb and see if we can get over this mess. I'm going to leave my landing light on probably for the duration of the flight because this is nasty. Nasty. Hey, what's up, Azim? Good to see you, man. How's New Delhi this morning? Just operating the 152 over here in North Georgia on a rainy day, using live weather and all that. I think I could override the weather. Depends on how I have things set up. Let's see. Nope, I am stuck on live weather, no changing it. So hopefully I don't run into any mountains. This plane and this pilot aren't really rated for this type of flying. Oh my god, look out. More mountains. I'm gonna stay over here on a 3 or a 4 heading. Just keep trying to gain altitude. That mixture pretty rich. Try to keep gaining altitude at about 500 vertical speed, 500 feet per minute. Thanks for tuning in, Azim. Hope you're doing good, buddy. Just now passing 4,000. Can't see if I'm about to hit a mountain or not. This is your captain speaking. We don't know if we're going to die or not. I feel like I'm very much going the wrong direction. Okay, yeah. It's funny, one of the things, you know, they teach real pilots is how flying through clouds, you completely lose all your bearing. You know, one of the things that they do is they have a pilot close their eyes and communicate to an instructor what they think the plane is doing while their eyes are closed. And you know, there's just no sense. Being in a plane, it's not where you're naturally evolved to be, obviously, and so there's no real sense of the dynamics of the situation for the pilot. And so, you know, they'll think, okay, I'm flying straight and level, but in reality they're in a death spiral toward the ground and they have no idea. So I am just not even looking out the windshield right now. I know that I'm in a slight right bank. I'm ascending at 500 feet per minute and I'm coming up from 4,500 feet and I'm going at about a 080. Even that out actually, 080. And I'm just hoping that I'm above any mountains at this point because I can't see nothing. That's the only thing the instruments can't help me with is terrain. Okay, breaking through a little bit of it here, that's good. Way off my VOR. So let's just go straight east here. Let's keep climbing. I have a feeling I'm going to need to get to like 7,500 to get out of this soup. Give me that VOR needle, baby. It was 019, right? That's what I wanted. Yeah, 019. So I'm dialed into 019 right now. Yeah, it all looks right. Okay, good. The needle's coming back to me here. What I'm looking for is this needle here to get centered up. So it's dialed into this radio frequency, and basically what I'm saying is when that needle gets centered up, that means I am on a 019 bearing from that VOR, which means I need to turn on to a 019 heading to that VOR. The difference between heading and bearing, if you're going to get into this stuff, is worth knowing. If you're going to fly VORs, okay, we're losing too much speed again. With the climbing, trying to get over these mountains. Just now getting to 5,000. This is such a underpowered aeroplane, but it's that early grind, baby. Career mode. Everybody starts somewhere. Entry level position over here. Ugh. Ugh. Okay, getting close. It's time to go ahead and turn. You can see how now that crosshairs is centered up. So now it's time for me to get my plane onto a 019. And there we are. So now I should be able to fly straight to get to this VOR, and then I need to, well, I already dialed in the next frequency, and so once it flips from to to from, once I pass over the VOR, at that point I will flip my comm frequency to go to the next one, if it's in range. Now, if not, I'm going to use my second nav frequency. So check this out. We'll go ahead and set this up, and it's tricky to do while manually flying and all that, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my second radio to 109.8 as well. Alright, so now the second radio is tuned in. Now what I'm going to do is change this to whatever the opposite, the reciprocal of 019 is. So if this is 019, which is basically just, you know, replicating what's happening on my top gauge, I'm going to spin that around to where this bottom arrow, oh geez, I'm going to spin this around to where my bottom arrow is on 019. And that means this gauge will be tuned to the reciprocal of the top one. Why am I overspeeding? I'm not pointing down. Why is this thing going so fast? Let's have a huge tailwind. It says I'm diving, but I'm not, am I? Geez, I guess I am. Ugh, a lot of turbulence. Being tossed around. Oh my goodness. I'm absolutely being tossed around right now. Power back into it. Sorry. Aviate, navigate, communicate. In that order. And I was navigating more than aviating and sort of lost control of the airplane for a little bit there and needed to recover. Alright, what direction am I going? I'm not too far off course. Let's go ahead and turn it to the right just a little bit. To the east and intercept our needle again. Guess we've got to go through that turbulent area there and start to get comfortable again. I like the way these climb rates are dancing all over the place though. It's just unsteady air in the clouds here. But when we get through the weather. Alright, our needle's coming back to us. So anyway, what I was saying down here was I want to turn this to the reciprocal, right? So there's my 6, 3, so 019 is right there. So you can see how those needles are sort of mirroring each other. That's because I've got them tuned opposite one another, which means that whenever I pass over the VOR, the bottom needle is already set to help me navigate away from it. And so I'm going to want to navigate away at a 001. And then I'll flip the top one over to the VOR that I'm going to. And I'm hoping that I'll be on course to get up there. And I'm frankly hoping that when I get up closer to Knoxville that there isn't all this weather. And I can see the friggin' grass strip that I'm supposed to land on. This is super nasty. And I find myself wishing I wasn't on live weather. Oh, vertical speed, come on. I overshot my needle a little bit. This is challenging. This is challenging right here. Flying in this weather in this plane. That airspeed, we're at 50, and that's okay. I really feel like I need to get more altitude. I mean, look at this, jeez. Looks like the game has crashed. But it hasn't. That's just what the weather looks like. A very active experience right now. Alright, let's get turned on to our 019 again. Okay, we're all centered up now, flying straight. Continuing to climb, try to get out of these clouds. I guess what I ought to do is get up to about 65. Well, I guess I'm on almost 65 right now, and there's no end in sight to these clouds. So I guess I need to shoot for 85. Let's keep climbing at 1,000 or so, unless the airspeed dips too low, and then I'll put the nose back down again. Man, the wind keeps moving the airplane around. I'll go through a low pressure zone, I guess is what's happening, and it'll just dip real suddenly. Oh my goodness, what do I see out there? I see a thing. I don't know what it is exactly, but oh, there it goes. It's gone. There was something out the windshield. I don't know what it was, but it looked like a ray of sunshine, like a God ray coming down and shining a light on something, but it's gone now. Flaps are up, right? Yeah, they're up. Oh, look at that landscape. Oh my goodness. Isn't it? Or is that top of clouds? I think that's just top of some clouds. That's good news too. That means I might have visibility for a minute here. Oh. Let's keep going. VFR altitude, I'm going slightly to the actually, I guess I'm going slightly east. So I guess I should be at an odd +5. So 7,500. If I can level off at 7,500, that'll be a good VFR altitude. Oh my goodness, we can see a little bit. Not even looking at my nav aids at the moment. Let's get back onto it. Oh, I bet you I'm already over it. Let's see if I can see the next one yet. 115.4. I want to change my heading to 001. And let's just go straight. Well, actually, I guess I need to turn this away, intercept the needle. Why is it saying from? 115.4, right? That VOR, there it is. Oh, 116.4. I am not correctly programmed. 116.4. Something was off there. There we go. Nice. Okay. So let's see if we can get leveled off in between these two cloud layers and get on a 001. I got a rainbow up there. Nice. And we'll go a little bit to the right here to try to intercept the needle. It's by a couple of degrees. So because my top gauge is catching the new VOR, I don't need to use the bottom gauge. So I know that one looks off. That is fine. It was only going to be a backup if I was still out of range of the next VOR. So about 60 miles or so, and I'll be at that VOR, at which point my flight plan has me doing a hard right turn to, what is this, 139, but I don't want to do that. If I get up there and I have visibility, then what I'd like to do is take a right turn and just fly straight to my airport. Alright, let's start feathering out some throttle and leaning the engine out. Ooh, too much, too much. Okay, about there. Let it settle. See if we can just maintain 7,500 with throttle. And we'll organically pick up a little bit of speed now that we're not climbing and we're in some smoother air. So what we'll do real quickly too is we'll go over to NeoFly and look at our mission management screen here, and it'll show me, yeah, I'm pretty much on course. Nobody needs to know about all the crap that happened to get me on course, but I'm pretty much on course. Looks like I've got another wall of clouds coming up there. Really don't want that. Maybe as I get closer I can navigate around them or something. There might be a gap over there to the left. I'm indicating 7,500 feet. Let's look one more time at Sky Vector and look at altitudes. So 59, 59, 7,000. So at worst, if I were to go over these peaks, they're at 7,000. This runway is, well, let's see, Knoxville is what? What's your altitude, Knoxville? 833 feet. Get back on track here. Just managing things with the trim wheel and the throttle right now. pretty flying between the clouds. I like this. It's probably another couple thousand feet to get up over that stuff, huh? Is it worth it to try to get this thing up over all that? Or should I just keep trying to negotiate through it? I definitely think I see, like, there's this bulge right here of clouds, and then I think there's a clearing on either side of it. So, like, I kind of find myself wanting to go around that. I think I'm going to do that. Around the left side. Let's give it a little more throttle. Bump it up to about 2300 RPM. Pick up some more airspeed. We're only going 80 right now. Perfect due north at the moment. That's nice. And actually we're a little bit off to the right of our desired course. So I think it'll be a safe bet we'll go around that cell, but I don't know that we're gonna escape everything here. It looks like another rain wall cloud, whatever, directly in front of me, heading toward that rainbow. Okay, let's even out this roll, fly there until we get the needle centered up and then turn it back to the right again. Doing okay here, maintaining relatively consistent altitude as the wind continues to move things around quite a bit. No ground. Rain everywhere. It is a hazy, gloomy day here in Atlanta, which is only, I guess, 50, 60 miles south of where I'm flying right now, so the weather is probably pretty accurate there. See that buffeting? It's just the wind moving things around. Bank over there. It looks like it's lighter up there. Right? Volunteer 116.4. Jeez, see that buffet? Plane just got bucked. Just cruising along now. Roughly on course, in control, in a nicer spot as far as the weather's concerned. That takeoff was harrowing. There's a lot going on there. I'm not looking forward to landing on a grass field in the rain, if that's what indeed I find up there. Well, let's ask, hey Google, what is the weather right now in Knoxville, Tennessee? Let's see. No answer. The heck? Oh, I think it answered in my bedroom on the stupid speaker. Let's see. It's raining. Of course it's raining. We're still off course too. How far to the right did I get? Let's look at the mission map. Oh wow, yeah, I got way off. Well, even then, that's got me going straight. My expectation is that I'm going to fly direct north. Right now I'm on track to go to the VOR, which is about here, actually about here, and then turn down. What I'm hoping I can do is spot, is there an airport, right? Yeah, this airport, and then turn to that direction and follow this road up. But it's going to be problematic, man. I'm probably going to have to end up using the VFR map to find this place, being a grass field. I hate using VFR maps because I feel like it's cheating. What I mean by that is this thing. Within the game, there's this map that I can use to spot and locate. Like right now I'm flying over an airport, as it turns out. Here's the airport that I'm going to. I'm sorry, there's the VOR that I'm going to, and then 3TN4, right? That's where I'm headed. Yeah, 3TN4, and that's where I want to be. So I'm hoping that I can get. Actually, you know, that's almost exact. It's almost 90 degrees. Regardless, there's a road that if I can follow, I'll follow it. But I'm worried about visibility and hills. Okay, it's TN98 that if I can see that, I can basically turn due east and fly straight to 3TN4. But first, you got to get up there. I'm way down here. Just about ready to turn back to the right again here and get back on track. See that needle's coming in, getting close to center. The good news that I'm looking for. I didn't realize I'd gained some altitude there. Up at 8,000. Need to make a decision and either descend back down to 75 or ascend to 95. I'm going slightly east, so I need to be at VFR, I need to be at an odd number, so 7,000, 9,000, plus 500, 7,500, 9,500. Don't want to climb. I'm going to trim down. Will help my airspeed anyway. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and get on course. Oh, look at that. Mountains. Maybe I do want to climb. Jeez. Yeah, that's another thing is if I'm close to the ground, the air will get even more bumpy. Updrafts and whatnot. This should be the tallest peaks, I think. Right? That's the tallest peaks. Nothing higher than that. I just flew over this. Yeah, I guess all these peaks are 7,000. So once I get over them, we're fine. I'll go ahead and just keep it at 8,000 for now. No commercial jet's going to be flying this low. But then again, this is how air accidents happen. When one guy's flaunting the rules? What's the word I'm looking for there? Blithely disregarding. That's what I mean to say. I just can't remember the word. Flaunting the rules, right? Is that the word? Flaunting? Plane really wants to climb. It's catching all these updrafts from the terrain. It really wants to go up. I might oblige it, although I don't like what that does to airspeed. Keep the climb going here at 500. We're maintaining a solid 80 knots while climbing 5,600. I'm going to continue to do that. So I'm secure and comfortable that I'm well over these peaks. And I'm definitely over this first set of peaks, but it looks like the clouds are going to get pretty thick again. I'd rather have more than 500 or 600 feet to spare in the event of a big drop. Not that I should drop 500 or 600 feet in an instant, but the plane has definitely been pushed around a lot, so security blanket's not a bad thing. Ooh, that's pretty. How about that, huh? Screenshot moment. Alt. Print screen. I guess I'll put that in my Discord channel where I put my print screens for later use. It's cool though. Oh, hey! Alright. Don't like that. I guess I'm fine. I'm going over that. SkyVector says that these things are at 7,000 feet. I have to believe SkyVector knows what he's talking about. What I don't know is that Microsoft perfectly replicates the height of these mountains. And so an abundance of caution is not a bad idea. See that drop? Oh my goodness. That was just turbulence, just tossing the plane around. Turn to the right just a little bit anyway, because we're drifting off of our needle a bit, which is actually kind of good because this peak is a little close for my comfort. I'm going to be navigating through some mountains here, quite a bit actually. So cool. What a cool game. Living in the future. Really having to fly this thing though. Like there's just no handoff stick time over here. It's very active to fly something like this in this kind of weather. And centered up again. Let's get back on a 019. Perfect. knots, looking okay. Centered up. Some nasty clouds coming up again though. Goodness. Trim that back some. Plane equalize out. Find your equilibrium. Was that a cloud or a ridge line up there? This coloration difference. I think it's clouds. Yeah, because there's the ridge line. Okay, good. Turn left, stay on the needle. Really hard to stay on the needle right now. Cruising along, looking out the window. I like that. Do not open the window over 143 knots. If you're going 143 knots in this thing, then you're like, you know, not worried about opening the window. Moving. You're doing 143 knots in a Cessna 152. Oh my goodness. Is it a weather bug? What happened there? Oh, that was weird. Some sort of bug. It's like I was suddenly hardcore in a cloud, then not. Keep on cruising. A little bit less mixture, a little more throttle. See if that makes things a bit smoother. Save some fuel. Speaking of, let's just kind of take a quick gander at our fuel. 48% remaining. Boom, boom. Oil temp and pressure are fine. Still off course left a little bit. A little lower than I'd like to be. Let's a little more power. The funny thing is people think you have to pull the stick back to gain altitude. I mean, yeah, you do sort of kind of. You use the elevators, use the flight control services, but as much as anything, you use the power. The more power you have going into the engine, on a propeller at least. Maybe just, I think that's accurate to say in general. The more power you have going, the more lift you organically get from the wings. Still descending. I don't want to be descending. No, I'm ascending. What's funny is I didn't touch the controls just now. air moving the plane around. Kind of pretty. Slow. I want to rank up so I can bump up to at least a plane that has nav aids, like a 172, or preferably like the Piper Arrow. Trim back a little bit here, see if we can get a little more altitude from the flight control surfaces. I don't want to push the engine over 23. If I can get away with it. Cruising along, doing our thing. Definitely see some sunlight up there. Let's steal a quick look at the VFR map. See how we're doing. Okay, good. We're doing okay. I don't think we'll be able to visually see this airport though. And it looks like topographically we're getting over the top of these ridges. So I think that once I get here, I'll be able to start descending, get below the cloud cover, and find that road and fly north. North along the road. Northeast along the road, I should say. Yeah, getting over the worst of it here. Getting close to turning back to the right. It's incredible to think that guys navigated for, all the way across Germany and, the Pacific Ocean and all that stuff using dead reckoning and stars and visual references and all that stuff. Well, we had VORs, I think, as far back as World War II. In fact, I'm almost certain we had VORs as far back as World War II. But, not over the Pacific, right? I mean, I guess you might have had strategically placed ones on islands, but I mean, how did those guys navigate from, Hawaii to Guam, or to the Philippine Islands, or to Japan itself? How do you get from southern England to Berlin in a plane with no computers? It's incredible. The instruments, the skill that classical pilots had to employ compared to what guys today have to do. Today it's all just managing a flight plan and following directions from ATC. There's still a lot to do, but not a whole lot of it is actually flying the plane. So there is something refreshing about flying this little Cessna and having to do everything myself. Slowly gaining altitude here as we go. Maintaining a solid 80 knots. I'm not unhappy with this. I mean, in a perfect world, I wouldn't mind being over this cluster of clouds we see up ahead, but I'm not gonna fret. Last ridge line up here anyway. I think the clouds are just sort of following the ridge line. The terrain, that is. Knits. Not that I'm using waypoints as a VFR flight, but whatever. Once we get over this last bit of terrain, we will get down, hopefully underneath all this cloud cover, and be able to see the ground. That's the hope. That's the hope. How I keep drifting off course. Maybe I've got a crosswind pushing me to the right, which that's probably what it is. Turn pretty aggressively here. Get back on. Our altitude right now coming up on 9,000. Let's see where we're at relative to that terrain. So this is one of the peaks of our terrain. As soon as we get here, I can turn back to the north and dive. Well, maybe not. I don't know. There's still some crap there. Let's look back at Sky Vector again real fast. I'm here. Yeah, so 3,000. The runway was what was it? It's 33, that peak. 1,500. Okay, so no matter what, I'll be a good deal out above sea level. Zeroed in. Wonder if I can tune into Knoxville ATIS. Yeah, Knoxville approach.
Knoxville approach Cessna November 064, Mike Tango, is type Cessna 152 6 miles east of Tango, November 878,700 feet. Request flight following.
Cessna November 064 Mike Tango Knoxville approach. Squawk 0035.
0035.
Cessna 4 Mike Tango radar contact 6 miles east of Tango November 878,600 feet. Altimeter 30.15.
Roger, Cessna 4 Mike Tango.
3015 is our altimeter setting. Which is important because because that means our indicated altitude is actually a little bit lower than we had it a moment ago. And VOR almost lined up. Sorry. I'm going to pause this. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. Sorry about that. All the flying through the rain made me had to go beep beep. Back in the soup. But at almost 9,000 feet, I feel like we should be well over any terrain. So there shouldn't be any concern there. And we're slowly banking back to the right here. As we get closer and closer to the VOR, the needle will become more and more sensitive, sort of difficult to manage. Yeah, alright. I see you, ground. Let's start a descent here. And to do that, I'm simply going to come off on the power. And we'll see the end. We'll see the plane start to fall. Airspeed should stay pretty constant because airspeed should stay pretty constant because the decrease in altitude, the falling out of the sky, will increase our speed. You know, just basically gravity, the effects of gravity. I don't know what that altitude is, but I don't want to come down too fast, too far. And I wonder if I should maneuver, like I'm right now sort of in a valley. I wonder if I should maneuver and follow that valley. Keep looking for ground. Need to always understand where the ground is. In the soup again. Passing 8,000 now. Put a little power back in. Man, visually, just looking at the clouds, like it makes it look somehow like I'm going down faster than I think I actually am. I mean, it says I'm only descending at a couple hundred feet per minute. God, it feels scarier than that. I'm gonna turn straight west here. Follow what I think is a nice easy valley. Keep the ground as far away from me as possible while I get visibility on the ground. Straight toward that KTYS airport. And then I think what I'll do is I'll fly north until I get to the water. Okay, good, there's some ground. Probably should have shot for that hole. The good news is the ground's way down there. But anyway, I'm just gonna keep shooting for this KTYS airport, and I'll turn north toward TN98. When I see the water, I'll turn right and follow the terrain to 3TN4. I know I'm taking a very roundabout way of getting there, but hopefully this roundabout way avoids, you know, all those mountains and whatnots. See some ground.
Cessna 4 Mike Tango traffic is 8 o'clock 4 miles at 4,100 feet generic. Report them in sight.
Knoxville approach Cessna 4, Mike Tango, cancel flight following.
Cessna 4 Mike Tango Knoxville approach cancellation received. Squawk 1200. Frequency change approved.
Still at 8,000. Let's really back off the power a lot here. Get this thing down. Sometimes I mistake the scratches and whatnot on the windshield to terrain, to be terrain. Okay, about ready to start a right turn here. Let's come up the power even more. Basically at idle right now. Because, I mean, if I'm coming up on water, that'll be the lowest point in the terrain, right? And then I won't be able to use nav aids anymore because I'm going to be turning directly away from the VOR. I do know that you can use VORs. You know, you can calculate your bearing away from the VOR to do sort of parallel courses, like what I want to do here, because I want to fly, like, here's my VOR, right, VXV, and I want to get up to it and then fly out this way, but I think I'd have to go straight to it and then fly out whatever that radial is. And I'm just not one to do all that action. I'm just going to keep falling here. As soon as this hits dead center, I should be able to turn straight east and get there. But I would like to get the ground in sight. Jeez. It's there. Okay, let's turn straight east. Alright, now we are on course to our final destination. Just need to hold east at this point. Don't kill me, bro. I don't know where you're at. There's another plane flying, I guess, directly above or below me. Right now, I'm not sure which. Still no ground. Still no ground. Engine's still at basically idle. Man, finding this freaking grass strip is going to be a pain. Is no ground. The ground is a myth. And I'm descending pretty freaking rapidly here. Oh, I've got some ground. Let's dive into this. Nice, nice. See it picking up a ton of speed there. Diving through this hole. Just the airspeed is causing my engine to pick up just a ton of steam here. A lot of RPMs. Okay, let's follow this road. Knoxville area traffic. This is type Cessna November 064 Mike Tango, entering the 3TN4 area with intent for full stop landing. Once I find it. Knoxville area traffic. Alright, let's look for this thing. It should be off my left wing somewhere. Is that it right there? Is that it right there, maybe? Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is. Okay, let's see. Let's see what our best approach is going to be. Watch this terrain. Flying directly over it now. So that's it right there, right? is that a road? Shoot, that's a road. What the heck is this airfield? I don't see it. I hate finding grass strips. So supposedly, if I do a base turn here, I should be like right at it. That's gotta be it right there, isn't it? Where? Is it just this big open field here? I guess I'll try to land in the big open field. Whoa! Not paying attention, stalling. Full mixture. Come on, baby, go, go, go. Don't crash, don't crash, don't crash. Get some airspeed, get some airspeed, get some airspeed. Okay. Phew. Nearly stalled and crashed. Let's go around again, look for that field, and just land in the field, I guess. I think that's the airstrip-ish thing-ish. Landing in a grass strip, for me, is super sketchy. If you overshoot and get into the trees, you crash. If you screw up your pedals and put too much steering input into it, you get into the trees and you crash. So I need to try to land as slowly as possible, just like fall out of the sky really gently. So when I come around, it's just going to be all about managing speed. So we'll put our first, or our only notch of flaps in, I guess. Alright, let's get back down. Bring this thing down to like idle. Flaps are down. I missed it again. Ugh, this is tricky. Sucks. I hate grass fields. Was that it there? don't know which freaking place it is. Okay, I think that's where I'm going right there. That open field. For speed around 60. And loop around. Follow that terrain right there. None of it looks like an airfield. Like, I don't see a strip anywhere. Like a marked strip. I'm not saying I need concrete. I'm just saying I need some sort of indication that it's a runway. It's a tight turn for this little guy. Doesn't look like an airfield to me.
That wasn't the softest landing I've seen.
We're going way too fast.
Parking and shut down your engine.
Okay, that's the place though. That's where I want to go.
Pilot, have a nice flight.
Just gotta figure out how to get on the ground. It's so rough. Sucks. This part of the game sucks. I almost want to land on a road and then drive there. Bring it in even slower.
That wasn't the softest landing I've seen. Contact ground for your parking
Jeez,
assignment,
are you
then shut
kidding me?
down your engine.
Well, we made it, I suppose. This is an airstrip, apparently. Come on, game. That's silly. It taxi around. Like, I wonder if I missed something. Is there actually an airstrip here somewhere? Or did I land in a field near an airstrip and I just didn't see it? So I can see how this could be used for a helicopter landing right here. See that? Got a road. Look back at the map. Yeah, I guess I'm on it, right? Unless those are the buildings. Let's keep going. I gotta done something wrong. There's no way that that would be an airstrip in the game. I might be beached. Oh no. That's what I get. Yes. Let's see what happens with NeoFly. Maybe if I reload into that airport. What was it? 3T and 5? Hope I just didn't screw up the mission. 3T and 4. I probably just screwed up the mission. It was a difficult friggin' flight too for me to screw up like that. Trying to figure out. Yeah, I think it is possible though that I landed in this field when I think I overshot the runway. Park at the ramp.
I know it's going to be a good day when my favorite pilot is working.
See if it lets me unload the passengers now.
Let's get out of here.
Let's see here if it, what it shows for that mission. Okay, so does that mean that the mission failed? Let's so does that mean that I did not accomplish the mission at all? You've crashed. You've been rescued to the closest airport. Insurance repaired your aircraft, but it lost everything on board. I lost the insurance contract. Okay, well, I think what that teaches me is maybe a couple of things. Number one, no more grass strips. Number two, I might restart the career. That was too long a flight to give up to what I feel was essentially a game bug. You know, that's not an airfield. That's not an airfield. I mean, you can barely land a helicopter there, much less a plane. There's just no way anyone's landing planes there that are going, you know, if a Cessna is too fast, then it's not an airfield. I am curious though, if I look around here, what does it show? That looks pretty flat right there, but long enough for takeoff? Man, I don't know. How in the world is that an airfield? Don't think so. Don't think so. Okay. Well, anyway, there's some what's the word here? Humility. Some Cessna humility for me. Crashed the plane while taxiing around trying to figure out where parking was. I should have just stopped the plane and completed the job first. That was kind of stupid of me to do that. But regardless, disappointing end to an eventful flight. I hope you had a fun time watching me fail. See ya.